In some cases, they're cats that were unadoptable, or again, we suddenly found had a problem and were brought home to treat that problem, and then they just never left. This is Naisha. Naisha was found in Times Square, of all places, by a woman who sort of dumped her on us, and we've never heard from again. He was brought into the vet by his original owner many, many years ago to be put down because he was a vicious cat. Oh. And he was on drugs for what kind of tranquilizers?
He was on phenobarbital, isn't it? It turned out his problem is a weird form of epilepsy. When he would go into the seizure, would just bite whatever was closest.
He's actually been off medication for a couple of years now. He seems to have normalized, I guess is the best way to call it. And he's quite a loving cat. She showed up in the backyard one day, very pregnant, chirping, running around. That's why she was called Lily Marlene, because she was singing to us. And she almost died when she gave birth. Phyllis actually helped save her life because Phyllis brought her into the vet. And Phyllis stayed with her and paid attention to her. Yes, you're Theta, I think. It gets a little confusing sometimes.
Do you have name tags or a database on these animals somewhere?
No, Phyllis knows them all. I have a little problem sometimes remembering who is who. Come on, Turi. Come on, Turandall. Oh, you want Daddy? Ah. Another little rescue found in one of the neighborhood gardens.
No, a dumpster at Willoughby.
Dumpster at Willoughby. You see, she knows.
She's the database.
She's the database. One of the local businesses was looking for an office cat, and they got her. Popcorn was her name. And after a couple of years, the fellow that had arranged the adoption said, oh, they're going out of business and they want to give you the cat back.
Oh, nice. It's like Rent-A-Cat.
Yeah. The one you're petting was found on Washington Avenue in a rainstorm by one of our faculty members, half-starved, cold, wet. So she became Martha Washington Avenue. So I say the names sometimes tend to tie in with where they came from. Of course, the one that showed up in the mailroom we called Postage.
Of course, that's what else? Right? Yeah.
He came from the ceiling of the building right down the street here.
It's called the ARC building, so his name had to have ARC somehow, so that's how he became Archimedes. Now you also have to understand that there are a number of cats that you won't even see, simply because they're just not used to strangers, or there are a couple that are feral that we even can't. We have at least two in this area that we can't touch, and they will let us come close to them. They love us in their own way, but they were street cats and they still don't trust humans. Yeah. So one of the things about it, of course, is to give them room. I added a shelf around the walls, so that's one more thing they can get up and get around. And the last addition that I made a couple of months ago is this overhead bridge. They go on top of the linen cabinet, and this allows them to get around this little piece of wall, and that in turn allows them to get into the bathroom. This has that little outdoor run that you saw from downstairs briefly.
Right.
Come on, show us, go out.
It's a demonstration cat.
Oh, birds. This is why we have boxes all over the place.
Right.
There are things to jump on, things to go in, and of course, the interesting thing about a box is after 2 weeks you have to change it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they chew it up and then...
No, it's just that it's an old box.
Oh, really?
They get bored with it, so you have to take the old box and throw it out and bring in a new box. And you can have a box sitting on the floor, which will be totally ignored by the cats. If you throw that out and put a fresh box down, in 30 seconds they'll be in it. The idea was that the cats would have outdoor access without running free around the neighborhood. The present run is about 7 or 8 years old, but we've had something, I guess, for at least 15. It started with just a short section, and then gradually it got bigger, and then the last time we did the work on it, as I say, it was about 7 or 8 years or so ago. That's when we just did this whole complete one. Because a friend of mine came over. She was a theatrical designer, so she designed the layout of the planks and the tree. She thought that was
Nice.
a great set concept. See what cat claws can do when you have enough of them over a period of time. There's going to have to be some carpentry work done next summer. A lot of people just don't consider an animal as something to be responsible for. It's like a piece of furniture. They don't realize that it is a living creature, and that when you get an animal, you're taking on an obligation. At least that's the way I would look at it.
Yeah.
She's another very interesting example because for a long time she was semi-feral.
Oh, really?
And then she got quite sick, and we took her to the vet. And ever since that, she has become extremely friendly and loving. It's as if she knows we saved her life.